Hey YouTube, Shinobi here with a review of the Yokai Watch Metal Moments figures, is I believe what the tagline for these figures are. Basically, the Metal Moments figures are a small, about 3-inch or so scale PVC figure of a particular yokai, and included is their medal that fully works within the Yokai Watch itself. So our first lineup of Series 1 contains Whisper, Jibanyan, Noko, Komasan, and Tattletell. So a pretty standard little group here from the first couple episodes of the series, and it's really exciting. These were $4.99 at my local Toys R Us. I had to pick up at the same time I picked up the Yokai Watch, and it's neat. They look really cool. They look actually pretty detailed as well for their price point. Here's just a quick look at the packaging. All of them have their own particular yokai in the back, so it's easy to tell what's on the shelf without actually digging through all the packages, which is definitely nice. Yokai medal right here. As you can see, it does say exclusive on the Jibanyan medal, but it does not on the other ones. It says it on Jibanyan and Whisper, but not on Tattletell or Komasan or Noko. So I'm not sure if their medals are the same as are in the blind packs. That I'm not 100% sure on because it does not say exclusive, but I will hopefully put an annotation up somewhere on this video when I actually have confirmation of that. So yeah, the medal plugs in on the figure somewhere to make a nice little display piece. So that's definitely really cool. Here's a quick look at Jibanyan, Whisper. Here's Noko, my personal favorite Komasan, and Tattletell. So really cool. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and get these 5 open and take a look. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and go through these one by one. Of course, starting with Whisper, because he's like kind of a mascot, except for Jibanyan. But yeah, so here's Whisper. Now, obviously, these figures take a little bit of liberty because they are meant to hold a medal. So you get a Whisper figure that has a chunk of his stomach taken out, which I guess is something that he could actually do since Komasan took a bite out of his head. But, yeah, it's interesting. I think outside of that part, I actually really like the figure. It's detailed well. I mean, Whisper's not a whole lot to go off in terms of detail, but the mouth's nicely painted, nicely outlined. There isn't a whole lot of paint bleed, which happens a lot on figures like this, and the eyes are actually tempoed on there pretty well. So I would definitely give props to the paint and the sculpt of the figure. I dig it a lot. I'm not really sure what this pose is, but hey, it is what it is. Now, if we take a look at the medal, it has a different photo than the one that was with the Yokai Watch itself. He's kind of split in half, like when Shogunyan appeared and cut him in half. So we get a nice little reference to that. Though I think he might have got cut in half a couple different times. But here is the one that came with the Yokai Watch. So standard Whisper, kind of scared Whisper because he got cut in half. So as you can see from the back, the QR codes are most definitely going to be different. But the rails, as you can see, are exactly the same. So if we go ahead and put it into the Yokai Watch, it's going to say the same exact thing. Now I will show that off in a moment. But for now I want to demonstrate the whole metal... The metal moments, as the line is calling them. You just kind of take the metal and you just sort of shove it in there. I don't know if it's trying to reference something or what it's trying to do exactly, but there's Whisper with the metal going through him, because that's always what you wanted in life, wasn't it? But overall, it's a nice looking figure. But again, the pose for Whisper is a little bit of a letdown. I want to see a figure of Whisper that's a little bit more like this guy, as opposed to one that is just absolutely terrified for his life. So bringing in the Yokai Watch.
What's up, my corporeal friend? I am Whisper, at your service.
Like I said, the same exact sound. And here is Jibanyan, everyone's favorite little kitty cat. He is right here. No articulation on any of these. These are all static PVC figures. But again, the details there. The eyes look nice. Like I said, there's no real paint bleed anywhere on the figure, which is always really cool. The flames on his tail look pretty nice as well. And he actually stands up pretty decently, given his pose. So that is always very nice as well. So I like that a lot. He even has his little collar stripe on the back here. So that's really cool. It's a nice little figure of Jibanyan. Now, he doesn't actually hold his medal. What we have here is just like this little background thing that's sort of like just a little backdrop. He's like, look at me, I'm Jibanyan. So you take his yokai medal here, which is, again, is different than the one that comes with the yokai watch itself. Here is that one. So there you go with that. Again, the QR code is going to be different, but again, the rails are the same, so you're not going to get that Paws of Fury line that we took a look at with the Comic-Con one. This one is going to be the one where he complains about how he's tired or busy or whatever it is. So you just set that medal inside this little slot on the background, and you have Jibanyan with the medal. And this one's actually my favorite. It's not that I don't like how the medal is included on the other figures. It's just that because it's a background, he's actually not, like, there's no cuts in his head or on his butt or in his waist or anything like that. It's just on a background, and this actually looks really cool on display. So part of me kind of wishes they all had this sort of background element of holding the medals as opposed to holding them in their whatevers. So I really like this one. It's probably my favorite of the actual figures because of that. It looks really cool on display. And again, like I said, it's going to be the same sound. Meow. Alright, just to get our other charming creature out of the way, here is Komasan, one of my personal favorite yokais. I love Komasan. Oh, my swirls. I just really dig him. He's adorable and really, really, really stupid. And I can relate. So, here's Komasan. His figure wasn't totally affected by the whole slot thing. It's just in his bag. So you can kind of set it up either way, depending on how you want to present the figure on a shelf, providing you're even displaying the medals with the figure. So you can slot it in just like that if you want them kind of at this angle, or you can slot it in back here if you're looking at it from that angle, whatever works for you. So this one isn't that bad. Probably, I don't want to say my second favorite of the figures, because Tattletell actually, the other figures don't get influenced by it all that much either. But I'm really biased towards Komasan, I will say that. I wish his head moved. I wish his little head moved, is what I was trying to say. But even like a full 180 of the figure, still painted back here, so that is absolutely wonderful. The flames on his horns are is nicely done as well, both in sculpt and paint. He's got all his little swirls and this sort of blank expression on his face. He's just really cute. I love me some Komasan. And here is his medal, again, a charming tribe. This is his little default picture, just kind of staring off into the sunset. QR code on the back and the rails. Is that even the right word for that? Rails? I don't know. All my rails. I could just hug you so hard. Komasan! I love it. Next up is Tattletell. And she is definitely something else. I kind of dig how she's positioned, just because it's sort of, you could hang this on other figures. Like maybe like a 6-inch scale figure or something. You could technically hang her from like the shoulders or around the neck and sort of get the same look as she does in the show when she hangs on people. So there's that. That's actually kind of cool. So I dig it. The head sculpt is nice. Does Tattletell have a tongue? Nope, that is her tongue. So it's the back of her mouth that's not really painted. So that's like the first instance that I've seen of some missing paint. But that's a really small area, so it's not really a huge detail. What you do with her to hold the medal is you just kind of flip this around, and she will grab the medal just like that, and there you go. So you have Tattletell holding the medal like it's like some sort of flying saucer or frisbee or something. She can go flying on her yokai medal. So there is that. She is part of the Mysterious tribe, so we get a new sound with her, so yeah. But yeah, a nice figure. I mean, like I said, the missing paint is a little bit meh, but Tattletell is always really strange.
Summoning Mysterious! Shake it, woogie, woogie. Clang, clang, delirious, Mysterious! Power, par.
Like I said in the OK Watch review, she just says her name, so she just repeats it in a different way.
Power.
So overall, pretty nice. I really like the mysterious theme. And lastly, we have Noko. Noko really hasn't been in the show a whole lot. He appeared, supposedly being rare, then there was like 5 billion of him, and Whisper didn't believe it because, like I said, he's good for nothing. But yeah, so we got the nice little snake yokai. He's kind of yawning really big. He's like me right now because I'm all tired. Kind of got a 4-leaf clover design on his head, so pretty neat. Like I said, the tongue is nicely painted in the inside of the mouth. You got 2 teeth up here, all these little spots, the pink stripes on the tail, the 4-leaf clover design. Lots of paint on the little guy, and it all just looks really nice. They did a good job on this one. Now, how his metal function works is that you kind of put it right under his teeth, and it's supposed to line up with this curvature of his belly, which admittedly does look a little bit strange. I haven't quite been able to get it to like lock into place. It's always just like a hair too big. So I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong, but if you have it on the ground, just like that, it actually balances quite well. So he's just trying to eat his yokai metal. He doesn't want to give it to anyone because he wants to eat it as a snack. So there is that. Here is the picture of Noko within the bed of 4-leaf clovers, just hiding away. And he is the slippery tribe, so that is certainly fun. Here's the rails and the QR code for him. There's straight up Pokemon up in here.
Noko!
That's really cute, though. That's a really cute voice. So, a cool little jingle for the Slippery Tribe as well. So there you have it with the Metal Moments figures, at least our first series of them. And it's a nice little variety. I would have liked to see just a little bit something extra. Like, I know Jibanyan and Whisper kind of have to be there just because they're whole mascots of the show sort of thing. But I would like to see a little bit more variety. Komasan's kind of in there for the same reason. But maybe a little bit more addition to this first wave just to get kids easy access to some more of the tribes. So there's that. That's about the only downside I have. These figures are nicely detailed, and for $4.99, you're basically paying about $4 for the figure and $1 for the metal. And that's not bad at all. For like a $4 figure, essentially, they are nicely detailed, nicely sculpted little figures. Like I said, the whole Metal Moments portion of the line does get in the way with people like Whisper that has a chunk taken out of his belly, or things like Komasan that has a hole in his sack, or Tattletell, like just gets stuck in a weird position. But I think overall, at the end of the day, that is a small price to pay for the quality of figure that you are getting, and plus you're getting the metal as well. Now, like I said at the beginning of this review, the Jibanyan and Whisper medals included within these figures are supposedly exclusive to these figures. The other ones are not marked, so I'm not sure if those exact medals will be available in the blind packs or just with other figures. I'm not 100% sure on that. If I know by the time that this review goes live, I will put an annotation somewhere to let people know, and then I will annotate this video when I do find out for people that watch it at a later date. So there is that, and I will about wrap this up. Overall, great quality of figure for what you ultimately end up paying, and they are really fun, and I can't wait for more. So that about does it for this review. If you like it, go ahead and blast that like button, comment below, and subscribe for more. So as always, thanks for watching, take care, and have a great one. Bye. Or should I say, yokai? I'll see myself out.